I don't really exactly know where I'm trying to go with this, but the other day in one of my classes there was a really heated debate, first about capitalism, and that conversation moved quickly to, into talking about the text that we're reading. And in that class we're reading W.E.B. Du Bois's Souls of Black Folk, phenomenal book. And one of my classmates verbalized that that W.E.B. Du Bois was racist, and that he was assimilationist, and that he didn't do enough to help black people. And she also verbalized earlier in the conversation that she thought that there was no point in doing anything because change was not possible. She's very cynical, very jaded, very young. It's really sad. She has no hope for change. I would feel bad for her if she wasn't so infuriating. And I think she said that about Du Bois, and I think that my face literally, I was just like so just shocked, totally shocked. Like, who are you? Who are you? It just blew my mind that she could be so off. And of course I responded, and there was a huge sort of classroom debate, and all of this linked into the capitalism thing, in which in that conversation it really honestly was like my opinion, and I had a couple of people who said that, who would support me, that I was right on, who thought that I was like right on one point, but that they had all these other things. And it's a small classroom, but it really felt like it was sort of me against all of them. And then going into that Du Bois conversation, it was just like, clearly I hold extreme points of view. I realized that as a white person, and as a radical, that I don't really fit in with my teenage white upper middle class peers. But it was really sort of shocking to me to be so clearly opposed, and so outnumbered. I have this sort of eternal optimism that, it's just that people don't understand. If only we could, educate, and if only we could open our minds, and especially like white people, I just feel like we're so just in our own world. It's like we don't even see racism. We don't even, oh, yikes. Hopefully that's still lined up. We don't even, we, like, white people have this ability to claim color blindness. It's something that I think a lot of white people do, is they say, like, I'm not racist, like, I just look at everybody's the same, I'm colorblind, I don't, whatever. And like, that is such a luxury that white people have to say. Black folks, people of color, their lives are in color. Like, when you live your entire life in color, it's so completely ludicrous to have someone tell you that they're colorblind. It's like, well, like, we must not exist in the same world. And I think that that's true. Like, we don't exist in the same world at all. Take my life, for example. I was raised in a white community. I went to white schools. I went to a white church. Before high school, I think that I'd probably seen, not even interacted with, just seen maybe less than 5 black folks. To high school, like, that's just crazy. And then I went to a fairly mixed high school, but my school was very, very segregated, literally, like, sectioned off in the cafeteria. And I didn't even think about it, to be honest. I didn't even think about race. I didn't think about it at all. I didn't think about it ever. Honestly, I don't think I thought about it until I moved to Philadelphia, and I was like, bam! I live in a neighborhood that is, you know, if not predominantly black, very black. And, you know, it's a real wake-up call for me, and I started taking my first race classes, and opening my mind and thinking about race, and literally it's like every single thing that I knew, that I thought was true, every single thing was wrong. Everything that I knew that I thought was true was a lie. That can shake a person. That can really get to you, you know. And I'm in this class, it's called Dimensions of Racism, and it's a huge lecture hall, and I sit up near the front, and I sit with a bunch of black folks, and a lot of the class is fairly mixed. It's a at my school at Temple, you have to take one race requirement in order to graduate, and this is one of the classes that qualifies as that race requirement class. So, you know, there are some people there just because they're trying to get the requirement, and so it's fairly mixed. And a lot of white folks sit near the back. And the other day, I, you know, turned around and sort of looked behind me and was like, I got this, like, kind of look where I was just like, whoa, like, I don't fit in anymore, you know? And in this room, it's very clear that there are sides, and that some people think that I'm on the wrong side. It was really, really intense, you know? And it's this funny, like, in-between worlds space to live, because, you know, at school, in my classes at school, where I'm able to sort of vocalize my point of view, it's pretty clear, you know, that yes, I'm a white person, but that you know, I'm a black studies major. I am against white supremacy. My roommate's going by. That you know, I'm anti-racist. I'm anti-oppression. You know, I'm very, very vocal, and so in my classes, it's pretty clear where I stand. I feel kind of foolish talking to a camera. I know that she can hear me.